चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर्श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरकृष्णे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 5th chapter, verse number 41. These are the prayers recited by Devas, demigods of the elements, the material elements which were created at the beginning of creation, when they were unable to manifest the cosmic body. Then they started praying to the Lord, who is the source of all power. So, as we discussed, that there are two types of paths, spiritual processes. One is the process of surrender, and another is the process of not surrendering. So, here in Bhagavatam, the path of surrender is propagated and shown to be superior than the other path. Although this path of surrender is not popular on this planet, the other paths seem to be more popular because they seem very comfortable to our ego. And this path of surrender is an attack on our material ego, which we are very much attached to. So therefore it is not appealing. But this is the process, this is the ultimate process, and without this nothing else works. As we have been reading, that even these great powerful beings, the very personification of the ego, was not able to do anything. He has to also surrender. Personification of intelligence, mind, and all other elements together. And our physical body is just a tiny part of all that. So how much we can do? And another thing which we have been reading here is that Lord is the one who creates and who also destroys. So those people who are predominant in Sattva Guna, they try to bring peace and harmony in the society. And Rajas and Tamas leads to destruction. But all these three, they are ultimately given power by the Lord Himself. we are speaking about time. We read about earlier time. Kala vritya tu mayayam gunmayam adhoksura purushena arpam bhutani viryam adhatya viryavam. This time is also a potency of Maya. And although it is a potency of Maya, it acts on Maya to bring transformation. And then there are different times. There is a time when Sattva-guna is more prominent. Then nice things happen. There is a time when Rajas becomes prominent. Then Rajasic activities happen. Then there is a time when Tamas becomes prominent. That is the time now. This is the age of Tamas. That crazy things are happening. So those people. So now people who are in Tamas, they are in power and in majority.
Cutting the trees.
They are cutting trees in Vrindavan. This is supposed to be the forest, but no tree are going to remain here. Already how many trees we have seen ourselves, how many have been cut? It's such a nice trees right here, everything was cut last year. And then we complained, so then immediately the police came, and then nothing happened. They came, they stopped, but then slowly they were cut. Because these people who want to make flats, they will pay them. So then your complaint and nothing happens. But in our Bagicha, one tree died, and after dying it dried, and when it dried, it fell down. So we cut it. Then somebody complained against me that I have cut tree. And then there was a court case against me. And I could not even remove that tree from my land, my own tree. So there is actually a law that you cannot cut trees here. But those very people who have made the law, now they are going to cut all the trees. So what can you do? If the guard himself starts stealing, who will protect? If you keep a guard and he starts shooting at you, what will you do? Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India, she was killed by her own guard. So who could protect her? She came out of her office and the guard is standing with the stun gun. He gave 50 bullets in her body. So this is the guy who is supposed to protect her. So that's what is happening. The lawmakers are the lawbreakers. And then how much you can do. So once in a while somebody comes, makes a movement like this. Bahuguna is there in Himachal Pradesh. Or this Medha Patekar for Narmada, not building this dam. But then that has to become your life. That you create a movement and then you become dedicated only for that, and still it is not successful. The dam they are still making. So because these people who are sitting on top, they don't consider what is good and what is bad. They are thinking what will bring us money. If they build a dam, then they can eat money. If they don't build a dam, then they don't get a damn thing. So they have to build a dam. So now so much money is pouring into Vrindavan. Thousands and thousands of crores of rupees is coming. So they have to build and in the process eat money. Now if they don't cut trees, then how they will make money? They have to widen the road and nothing will happen. It will remain the same problem. Whatever problem we are facing now, it will continue. But this is how they will make money. So they will also sell the wood, because that is not accounted for, that where this wood will go. This is and they will also make money out of the material. So why would they listen to anybody? Unless people unite and they really come together. But to do that also, there are people everywhere who are part of this game. So they will oppose you. So one has to be really very bold and completely dedicated to do anything like that. So this is a very dangerous situation, and this question was raised in 7th canto of Bhagavatam, and translating Paramatma Sandarbha, and this is exactly the section where Jiva Goswami is dealing with that. How is that Lord has this biasness, that he is protecting the devotees, he is killing the demons, at the same time he is the source of everybody. So then he is explaining, and his explanation is that whatever he does only for the sake of devotees. And he says he is the one who makes the demons strong, and then they defeat the devotees or the suras. So it is very interesting phenomena that ultimately if you analyze, as Jiva Goswami is explaining, that why these trees are being cut in Vrindavan, because there are no devotees. If there were devotees here, then the demonic people will not become powerful. So when devotees are weak and they disrespect, because Jiva Goswami says that Lord, he is always following the devotees. Of course, here he is talking about the demigods, that Krishna favors demigods always. But sometimes he does not favor them. So he says among the demigods there are also devotees. And because they are devotees and Krishna is following the devotees, so he favors the demigods. But sometimes the demigods, they offend the devotees. Then what happens? Then he gives power to the demons. And he gives the example like Indra, he insulted Brihaspati, his own guru. Because he was sitting on his throne and Brihaspati entered, so he did not stand up to give him respect. So when Brihaspati saw this, he left, because he realized that now this person has become so powerful, even if I give him some advice, he will not listen to me. And why shall I stay here? So he walked away. So that is the time when Bali Maharaj became powerful. He went, he attacked Indra and won. So then he gives power to this, because he doesn't support them anymore. So when devotees were living here, then nobody dared to cut trees. When devotees became offensive, then these other people have become powerful. So then the trees are, so you can see, I think many of us have been in Vrindavan for 25 years. So we know in last 25 years how things have changed in Vrindavan. Why? Because the devotees here who are living, we know it very well that their interest is not in devotion. They are into all types of activities, making money basically and enjoying. So when that is happening, why Krishna will support them? And he wants to make this place as a place of enjoyment. 25 years ago, there was not one restaurant here, right? You hardly saw a car. Nothing.
to imagine.
Hmm?
It's hard to imagine.
Yeah, there was nothing. Even no of these rickshaws. You could not find any rickshaw here. Now you see maybe 200 rickshaws from this place to there. There was no rickshaw. And if you wanted a rickshaw, you have to walk 1 kilometer down the lane. Then you could get it. And nobody was coming here like that. People who came here, they came who had some sincerity. Now you can think like this going 50 years, 100 years, 200 years back in time, in the time of the Goswamis. So as time has passed, the deviation is coming in the devotees. And then when it is coming, then Krishna is pulling away his potency. Then Yamuna was not dirty like this before. Yamuna was very clean. Lakshmana used to go and take a dip every day. Now
Yeah.
he does pranam from far away.
Far.
We are afraid to get bacteria. So this has happened. Because all types of people are here in the name of devotees. Drugs, illicit sex, we know it all. So then this is what is proliferating here. When Pandit Baba was here, Maharajji's Guru's Guru, he was living where Sodh Sansthan is now. It's Vrindavan Research Institute. This was not there. It was full of nice trees. And there is an old building on the back side, it's still there. He used to live there, and then few sadhus were there. So at that time, Maharaj asked him one question when he came as a young boy. This was maybe 70 years ago. That how, because Pandit Baba, he was known as Pandit Baba, and he was known as Siddha Baba, means a perfected. Everybody respected him, all sampradayas. So Maharajji asked him a question that how to get perfection, means how to become Siddha. You know what he answered? He answered that when the train came to Vrindavan, then the Siddhi disappeared from him. This was his answer. Because now people started coming with train, means it became convenient for people to come here. Previously there was no train, there was no bus. You have to walk. If somebody is in Delhi and he has to come to Vrindavan, he has to walk. People were walking from Bengal. So if somebody is walking from Bengal to Vrindavan, he is not coming here to eat rabdi. That's not his interest. He can eat that in Calcutta. So he will come with a sincere interest. And they had so much, devotion for Vraj. Everything like same like Mahaprabhu came. So the Mahaprabhu was able to see Krishna here because they came with that mood. But we don't come like that now. Because you can take a bus or a car or a train. Maybe in future they will make an airport here. So it has become easy, so then people come and they want all types of comforts here. So people were living, as we hear about the Goswamis, under each tree, so they were experiencing Krishna. We are living in palatial houses, we only experience that, we don't experience Krishna. So this is how things work. So although we all feel sad that these trees are being cut, but the reason is that defect is in us only. If we were pure, then these people will not gain power. And you can see that they have gained power. It is not that they have gained power just like that. There is a play behind it, because this power is coming and we cannot counteract it. We can try, but you try to do something like this and hardly anybody will come to help you. I ask you to call this Podar and you already told me that. He said, what can you do? This is the answer you will get. But you ask for something else, some other movement, then you'll get people for that. So this is what Jiva Goswami is explaining, that Lord is doing it. Of course, he says that his every activity is only for maintaining devotees. He doesn't do anything else. Krishna's activities, his pastimes, are only to support the devotees. But if there are no devotees, or devotees are not behaving properly, because really speaking, devotee should behave with devotion, he should engage in devotion only. But if he is not doing it, then he is not a devotee. Then he supports the opposite party to teach them a lesson. Because when Bali became powerful, then Indra came to senses. Otherwise they forget. So if Bali is ruling over heaven, then it is not going to be same as Indra is ruling. Because he will have his own agenda. If Indra is having a kirtan hall, then Bali will have an auditorium for dancing. Because he is an asura. He became devotee later on, but to begin with he was not. So asura means life, and ra means to run, to enjoy. Those who enjoy life, they are called asuras. Asuras are not people who are big in size or have horns on their head. Asusuranta iti asura. So anybody who is just into pure enjoyment is an asura. So why they have to be bothered about devotion or anything like that, or trees being cut or not being cut? They have to see where they can get money, because for enjoyment you need money. And then you do anything. So this is the real reason, ultimate reason. And from that, this is manifesting. Because we know that Krishna is the ultimate cause behind everything. So why he is the ultimate cause? Because Vrindavan is his place. So how is that he is allowing such a thing? So this question is asked very commonly. That how is that Krishna has allowed this to happen to his own dham, his own abode? So he is allowing it because we are not doing our duty properly, we are not acting properly. And then he is transcendental, then he does not manifest his energy. His energy is manifest according to the devotion of the devotees. Then this is what people want to enjoy, and he gives them facility for that. So there may be few people who have the sankalpa, the resolve that Vrindavan should have trees, and then there are 10 times, 20 times, 50 times or 100 times more people who are not interested in that. So this is the reason. So we are talking about devotion. When this topic came, that it is devotion which is protective. If we want Vrindavan to stay Vrindavan, then we have to be pure in our heart. Then Vrindavan can manifest here. And if we are not pure ourselves, then Vrindavan becomes unmanifest, which is happening. So in this verse, which is spoken by the Devas, they are saying Yat Shraddhaya Shukratya Cha Bhaktya Samrijyamane Hriday Vadhaya Jnanena Vairagya Balena Dhira Vrajema Tattengri Saroja Pitham. He says that we are did we study this? What to do? No, we didn't study this. He says that we take shelter of your lotus feet, which are attained by people who are called dhira. So dhira means who are very fixed, determined in devotion service, not wishy-washy, not changing with the wind, but very determined, resolute, fixed like a rock. So many circumstances and situation will come which will be unfavorable, and we will feel like giving up or feel disturbed in our mind. So not to become disturbed when there is a disturbing situation, that is called dhira. Because in the material world, every day we face situations which are very disturbing. So if we become disturbed, then we are not dhira. So our character is tested when there is an abnormal situation and everything is going nicely. Then it is difficult to figure out what is the character of a person. In Hari Bhakti Vilas, therefore, it is recommended that a guru should not give diksha to a prospective disciple unless he has lived with him for 1 year. Because in 1 year, he will know what this person is about. Various circumstances will come, the person will become angry, upset, depressed. So then that is the time the reality comes out. Otherwise, we use our intelligence to suppress our emotions and things remain hidden inside. So we wear a nice mask. That's what the word person comes from Latin persona. And persona means a mask. So every person has a persona, and behind that is the person himself. So it's difficult to know what is beyond. So dhira is that who remains fixed. Means it's not that he is making a show and then when he's off the stage, then he's a different person. And many people, when they are giving lecture, they are talking, they are on the stage, they manifest all types of emotions and crying and jumping. When the lecture is over, they are normal people. So their bhav comes only when they are in front of public. Otherwise, they are like anyone else. So that is not what he is talking about. So dhira, why they are dhira? He says jnanena vairagya balena. To be a dhira, one has to have jnana, wisdom, realized knowledge. Because if that wisdom is not there, wisdom means that person has realization. So when wisdom is there, then one can make proper decision. And if wisdom is not there, then one is weak person, then one gets swayed away with the situation. Today this way, another day another way. And vairagya balena. And then there is a power of renunciation, because if when we are attached, then our intelligence becomes colored by that attachment. We cannot decide properly if we are attached. It is very difficult to make good decision, unbiased decision if we have attachment. So this Vairagya Bal, the power of detachment, this makes one stable, fixed, undeviating. And how does this wisdom and power of detachment come? This comes from devotion, beginning with Shraddha. So it says, Yash Shraddhaya Srutavatya cha Bhaktya Samrijyamane Hridaya. So one has Shraddha and then one hears. Susrusho Shraddhadhanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. So when Shraddha is there, then one hears and then one becomes attracted, attached. So Bhaktya Pashyanti Atmani cha Atmana Bhaktya Sruta Grihitaya. Bhakti comes by hearing. Sruta Grihita. When we hear with faith, then Bhakti enters in. So that is what he says, Yash Shraddhya Srutvatya cha Bhaktya Samrijyamane Hridaya. Then the things which shake us, because things which shake us are the material attachments. Those are the things which make us weak and wavering. And when we are wavering, then we give up the path of devotion. Then the doubts start coming and think, why I am wasting my time here? What is there in this? I should be sitting in the restaurant and eating pizza. So this type of ideas come, the doubts come, and then we say, okay, let me sit now, but tomorrow I will not come. So these types of doubts, how will they be removed? Only by hearing. If we do not hear, then doubts are natural. They are already there. They are sleeping inside us. In Sanskrit, doubts are called samshaya. Shaya, shayan, sleeping. Sayya, bed. So samshaya means which makes you sleep nicely. Or they are nicely sleeping inside you. So there is nishchaya and then there is samshaya. So these doubts, they are already there. Only thing is that they wake up. And once they are up, they trouble you. So he says, Samrijyamane Hridaya, that this heart has to be gotten rid of these doubts. So unless we become dhira, the doubts will keep on coming. We never get a doubt that why I am enjoying, why not do devotion. This doubt never comes. People are enjoying material life, all kinds of things they are doing, they never get a doubt why I am doing it, why not do devotion. But when you come to devotion, then you get a doubt, why am I doing devotion, why not enjoy? So why is that? That we get doubt only for giving up devotion and not taking it up. You can also get doubt in the material life. that why am I engaged in all these materialistic activities, living with materialistic people? Why not find some holy people to live with? This type of doubt never comes. Because what comes is what is inside us. So, if you open a box and inside there is some perfume, then it comes out the fragrance. But if there is no perfume inside, then you don't get it. You don't get no smell. So perfumes have vasana, means smell, and vasana also means desires, or the roots, seeds of desires. So these samshayas and vasanas, they are lying inside us. And when we want to do spiritual practice, then these things start coming out. So the only way they can go away, and actually there is no other way, is by hearing. Only that gives strength and can remove them. But this hearing has to be done with Shraddha. Yat Shraddhaya Shrutavatya cha Bhaktya Samrijyamane Hridaya Avadhaya. Then it becomes fixed in the heart. Then they become strong. So this is the get rid of. Therefore Krishna says Agyascha Asradadhanascha Sansayatma Punashyati. He is already saying we are Sansayatma. We are made of Sansayas. We are made of doubts. There is nothing that we are resolute about. We keep on changing. So why is that? Because we are agya, we are ignorant of spiritual life. We are not resolute. We don't have nischaya. So that nischaya comes by sadhu sang, by hearing. So that's what Rupa Goswami says, that one should associate with the devotees. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Kincha tebhyopi keval bhakti matra ashrayina sresthayata. So earlier he has talked about people who are following pure bhakti and people who are following mixed bhakti. So he says better than all this is those who are keval bhakti matra, who are following pure bhakti, nothing else. So we have already spoken that bhakti does not like anyone else along with it. So if you try to mix with other things, then you are making bhakti weak. So he says that these people who take shelter of kevala bhakti, pure devotion, then they are the best, Sreshta. They are supreme. Yat tav padam shrutam guru mukha upadishtam bhajan vartma vartate yasyam. So these people, they hear about the Lord's feet or about the Lord, and then they take to the path of bhajan, devotional service, after hearing from the Guru. Because bhajan is taught by Guru. He instructs. So Guru mukha upadishtam bhajan vartma vartate yasyam taya bhaktya. So by this devotion, then sahirdaya eva avadhaya anubhuya. When they become sahirdaya, means their heart becomes clean and they have experience inside. Because bhakti is a matter of experience. It is not something which we will get after death. It is to be experienced here. It's not that one dies and one becomes a devotee. So if we are not devotee now, we are not going to become devotees by dying in Vrindavan. That will not happen. So bhakti is to be experienced now. It is not like karma that you perform some pious activity, then you will get some pleasure in heaven. So that is like a future check that you cannot cash it now, you will get it. Like you make life insurance, then when you die, your relative will get 5 times of this. What is the use of that? So bhakti is not for dying, bhakti is for living. So it has to be experienced now and here, not in some other loka somewhere. Jnanena, because there is nothing anywhere else. Whatever is there, it is here. If it is not here, it is not there. If it is here, it is everywhere. In Hindi there is a saying that if you eat sweet rice at your house, wherever you go, people will offer you sweet rice. And if you are eating dry chapatis, wherever you go, you will get dry chapatis. So if we don't have bhakti now and here, then there is no bhakti after dying. Bhakti is not like that. So, prataksha avagamam dharmyam susukham kartum avyayam. Krishna says that this bhakti is avyaya, imperishable, and prataksha avagamam. It is directly realized. It's like you realize other things, like you eat. When you are hungry and you eat, so you experience the taste of the food, you experience that your hunger is getting quelled, you experience that your body is getting energy. So bhakti is exactly like that. Tushti, tushti, yathanughasam. So, yatha ashnatasu. So, therefore he says anubhuya. Labdhena jnanena tan madhurya aswad rupena. What is this jnana, this wisdom, this knowledge? He says this is the taste of Lord's sweetness. And then when you have realized that, then there is natural distaste in anything else. Param drishtva nivartate. Rasopyasya rasovarjam param drishtva nivartate. When you have this taste of transcendental realization, then material sense pleasures, they leave you. You don't have to leave them. They realize that, okay, this person is useless now. Let's leave him. Otherwise, Krishna says, Indriyasya arthe raga dvesa vyavastita. In every sense, there is a taste. And this taste is outside and also in the sense. And they want to be one. The taste of the tongue and the taste in the food, they want to unite. But when one has taste of bhakti, then this taste leaves. Then you don't have taste in material objects. So then this vairagya comes naturally. That's, it says, vairagyasya sarvatra vaitrishnasya balam yasmat. You become detached from everything else, and that is the strength. Because then nobody can allure you, entice you. Because we become enticed because there is a desire inside, like the story of the traveler in Hitopadesh. This tiger became old, and now he cannot capture his prey, cannot run. So he used his intelligence. Buddhiriyasya balam tasya nirbuddhastu kutah balam. Who has intelligence, he has power. So he had one golden ring. He takes this golden rings and he stands inside a lake. And whoever is passing by says, please come here, I want to donate this golden ring. So one traveler who was going searching for a job to the city, he says, because intelligence also starts working like this. He says, looks like my fate is changing now. I'm going to look for a job, I'm already getting something here. He says, I'm going to get early morning, I'm going to get a golden ring, Boni. Always he was saying Boni Karao. So, but then he thought that he is a tiger, he can eat me. So he asked the tiger that, how can I trust you? So he says, oh come on, what are you saying? When I was young, I did so many crimes. I killed cows, human beings, I ate them, and because of that sin, I lost all my family members. My wife is dead, my children are dead, I'm alone, and now I have come to my senses. So I have decided that to wash away all my sins, I will not eat unless I have donated something. So then the travelers thought that seems right, because makes sense. People do change when they suffer and they have lost everything, then they start thinking. But then he said that, how do I know that you are not a cheater? So then he says, look, come on, I'm an old fellow and I'm sitting here in the lake. Previously people used to go and take bath in the Yamuna, stand inside the Yamuna and chant mantra and then give donation. Says, tigers don't stand inside a lake. And then he gives him a big lecture about religion, that religious people are those who are truthful and austere. And you can see that I am austere, I am truthful and renounced. And this thing I want to give it. I don't want to keep it with me, this golden ring. So because traveler was having greed inside, then his intelligence was colored. So he came to take, he said, no, first you should take bath, because in India it is a custom that if you give charity or you accept charity, you have to be clean. So he said, you take bath in this pious lake and then you can have the charity. So he said, okay, then he went, but this was a muddy lake, marshy. So the guy got stuck. And when he got stuck, he became scared. So he said, oh, I'm stuck here. So the tiger said, don't worry, I will come and I will pull you out. Still he was not saying anything. So then he came slowly and he jumped on him. He said, now I will save you. So this is because of attachment. Even we have attachment, then we get cheated. So he says, Vairagyasya sarvatra vatrushnasya balam yasmat tena dhira bhavanti. So to be dhira, to remain fixed, one has to be free from all this type of material enjoyments. Akke chain madhu vindayat kimartham parvatam brajet iti nyayena purvam yuve vedadi anveshan srunvanto na bhavanti. And therefore such people, they do not make endeavor in the study of the Vedas, which we read in the previous verse. There was a talk of the Veda. that Vedas have come out from the mouth of the Lord, like the birds coming from the nest, and then people study them and try to serve the Lord in that. It says, when you have pure devotion, then you don't have to do all that labor. As Krishna says, Tragunya Vishya Vedam is Tragunya Bhavarjuna. If you study Veda, it becomes very difficult to figure out that Veda is speaking about devotion, because it is covered with so many types of materialistic activities. So one has to really labor hard to understand this. विश्वस्य जन्म स्थिति संयमार्थे कृतावतारस्य पदाम्बुजं ते व्रजेम सर्वे शरणं यदीश स्मृतं प्रयच्छति अभयं स्वपुंसाम्. Says that, O Lord, we take shelter of your lotus feet, because anyone who takes shelter of your lotus feet, you give to such surrendered people fearlessness. And you have taken various avatars. Lord manifests in this world in various forms. Janma Sthiti Sanyamartha, for creation, maintenance and destruction of the world. So Lord is doing these activities. Really speaking, He comes only to give grace to His devotees. These other things happen as a byproduct. Not that He really comes here to create and maintain and do all these things. And that's why without devotion it is not possible to understand Him. And only when we have devotion, then we will understand that actually He comes only for the sake of devotees. Otherwise there is no need for Him to come. He can create, He can maintain, He can destroy without coming. Just by His will He can do it. But to participate in Leela or pastimes with His devotees, then He personally comes. And then when He comes personally, then these other activities of maintenance, etc., they happen as a result. So this is the nature of the Lord. He does not deal with material activities or material people or has any material motives. The devotees, although they may have material bodies, but Lord gives them His own internal potency. And then through that internal potency the devotees pray to the Lord. And then He is attracted to that. So He is dealing only with His own energy and playing with it. And then other things happen. Tadrishya bhaktehe sugamatvartham tasya bhaktanugraham smaranta ahur vishwasya. So he says that bhakti is easy. It's not very difficult if it is understood. And because it happens by the grace of the Lord, Bhakta Anugraha, or how He gives His Anugraha. So they are remembering this. Smran yad isa smritam prayachati abhayam swapunsha. Swapunsha means His own people, His own devotees. So they are free from fear. He makes them fearless. Because fear comes only when we are attached to something material. If we are not attached to material things, then what is the fear? Fear means a emotion when we foresee something in future that we are going to lose. Then we have a fear that I am going to lose my money, I am going to lose my power, my position, my health, my relatives, anything. So then the fear comes. But if our attachment is to Krishna and we are experiencing our relationship with Him, then we don't fear these things. So bhayam dutiya bhinivestasya adishadapi tasya viparya smriti yan maya abhajed buddhattam ekya bhaktiya guru devatatma. So this bhaya, the fear, comes because of forgetfulness of Krishna. And here he says smritam prayachati abhaya. And if we have smriti, remembrance, so the essence is to remember always. And this is a difficult thing. This has to be practiced. It does not happen because of our past experiences, and we have had so many experiences, and we are going on having more and more experiences. And all these experiences, they are creating samskaras. And samskaras give memory. So we get memories according to our experiences. So we have to stop the unwanted experiences, and we have to engage in activities which will give us favorable samskaras, which means devotional samskaras. That is the meaning of sadhana bhakti. That we hear, we chant, we do activities in relationship with Krishna, then we will get these samskaras, and then we will start having memory, remembrance, recollection of these activities. Then we will become free from the other things. So this is how a person becomes free from fear. So that's all has to be done basically. And once mind is fixed on Krishna, there is remembrance of Krishna, then there is no problem. Therefore Krishna asks Arjuna, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. All the time you remember me and also fight. So remembering is possible if our mind is with us. But if our mind is going on some picnic, then we cannot remember. So I'll stop here.
So then, if I have understood properly, the inspiration comes in somebody because Krishna is putting his energy there, right? And then he relates with this energy, means he enjoys or he reciprocates or he sees this energy, means his energy or importance. So
Yes.
then at that time we receive this inspiration, and somehow we find this inspiration by grace. But as you said, it's already the starting, and then when this is there, I mean,
When you make an effort,
then it comes the time that we have to make the effort. Okay. By remembering and serving.
yes.